And they're going to call the game. The game is over here as the New York Giants defeat the St. Louis Cardinals 34-17 and go into a tie for first place with the Dallas Cowboys. Identical records of 9-4. St. Louis dropping to second place, 8-4-1, but they are still in it. And as we said, we're going to have to wait until next Sunday evening to know who is going to be in these playoffs. But a tremendously important victory here for the New York Giants against the team they had to beat. And they did it with consummate grace and ease.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. If you give this video a thumbs up or maybe leave a comment below or possibly share this video, it would mean so much to me. But just, anyway, just at least thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to watch this video. Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, here we go. Week 4. It's unbelievable. I said this, earlier. It's like every year. It's like once the season starts, it's like bam, bam, bam. Yeah, it's like after the Martin, basically the season's, the regular season is like almost a quarter of the way over with already. It's like you're waiting for it to come and this, and when's preseason going to get here and all this, and once it starts, it's like bam, 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 quarter of the way over with already. And sadly for us Giant fans, it's usually the way it's worked out lately anyways, that once we get a few games into the season, it's like, we waited and waited, man, when's the season going to get here? And with 2, 3, 4 games into the season, we're like, yeah, when's the season going to get over with? Let's get on the next season already, That's kind of the way this one's starting off anyway. But the 4th game of the season, all right, going to be a, challenging game in New Orleans, okay? The Saints are 2-1. Giants, of course, we know are 0-3. But the Saints, okay, there's no Drew Brees anymore, all right? He retired, and there's no Michael Thomas because he had ankle surgery. I think it was in June. So, their biggest, I'm not going to say offensive weapon, because if Alvin Kamara's on the field, he's the biggest offensive weapon, period. But Michael Thomas receiving, all right, receiver, he's not there, okay. And it's hard to believe, but they're 2-1. They're very good defense, but their offense is not really an offensive juggernaut this year, okay. So I'm not going to say it's the Giants' game to lose, but the Giants, might have a small chance of actually winning this football game here, okay? Now, the Saints opened up the season with a very surprising 38-3 win against the Packers. Now, the Saints were home, okay, but due to the storm and the Superdome was shut down, okay? They had to play the game in Jacksonville. So, they beat the Packers 38-3. Aaron Rodgers came back, and it was his first game and all that, and he didn't look so good. But, you start looking at what the Saints did. 38-3. Man, it's been walking up and down the field. And no, Jameis Winston was 14 out of 20. Okay? He had 5 touchdown passes. So somehow out of his 14 completions, 5 of them were touchdowns. He had a grand total, okay, he threw 5 touchdown passes. He had a grand total of 148 yards passing. And somehow he had 5 touchdown passes. Just sometimes things just fall your way. Well, that was this game, okay? You complete 14 passes for 148 yards and 5 touchdown passes. Luck was on your side that day, okay? They ran the ball. Once you get up so much, you start running the ball. They ran the ball 39 times. You got to give them credit. They had that good running game going for 171 yards. Okay, they had 4.4 yards per carry, but they only had 322 total yards. It's like, that you're not really, with the Saints, you're expecting more than that, 322. But wait, it gets even worse. Okay. Second game of the season, they went and they played in Carolina, and they got embarrassed, 26-7. Their offense was really bad. The Panthers' defense is this year is very good. Jameis Winston in this game was 11 out of 22 for a grand total of 111 yards. He had no touchdown passes. He threw 2 interceptions. His quarterback rating was at 22.6. Not very good. They're rushing. Okay, in this game, they ran the ball 17 times for 48 yards, 2.8 yards per carry. Pretty sad. All right, they had a grand total of 6 first downs. Okay, they had a grand total 128 total yards. Jameis Winston had 111 yards passing, but after sacks were taken off and all, their passing had 80 yards passing for the whole day, 48 yards rushing, 128 yards of total offense in this game. Not very good. Okay, then they played the Patriots, and they won 28-13. They went into New England and they won 28-13. Okay, but Jameis Winston was 13 out of 21, grand total of 128 yards passing. You take away the sack yards, he had 110 yards passing. He had 80 yards passing against the Panthers, 110. So in 2 games, he had 190 yards passing. I mean, you got quarterbacks throwing it for that in a quarter. I mean, a lot of them in a half. And he went 2 whole games with 190 yards passing. His quarterback rating in that game was a 69.4. I mean, they ran the ball 38 times for 142 yards, 3.7. Got to give him a lot of credit for running the ball. Okay, 142 yards, but only 3.7 yards per carry. They had 19 first downs, but they only had a grand total of 252 yards of offense. I mean, so basically between the Panther game and the Patriot game, they had a grand total of almost about 400 yards of offense. I mean, they're not very good. They have a little over 700 yards of offense for the whole season. I mean, we're not talking offensive juggernaut, okay? They're last in the NFL, the Saints. It's hard to believe because you're always thinking with Sean Payton with the offense and Drew Brees, licking his fingers every time getting the ball, throwing the ball 300-400 times a game, You're thinking that, you're thinking, they're just walking up and down the field, a lot of passing yards and all that stuff. And they have 390 yards passing after 3 games. They're averaging 130 yards a game passing. That's pretty sad. Okay, the Giants have almost 400 more passing yards. Okay, the Giants have 782 compared to 390. All right, so even as bad as the Giants' offense has been, and it's been bad, okay, the Giants have almost 400 more passing yards than the Saints do. That's hard to believe, okay? The Saints are number 31 in the league with with pass plays of 20-plus yards, okay? They have 3. All right, the Giants have 7. So the Giants have more than twice as many. All right, they're tied for the last in the league, okay, with 22 passing first downs. The Giants have 35 passing first downs. They're number 31 in scrimmage plays with 165. The Giants have 187. All right, so they don't run a lot of plays. They don't have a lot of passing yards, okay, and their third down conversions, all right, they're not doing too good. They're 13 out of 34. The Giants are 17 out of 38. Yeah, not much better, but 13 out of 34. I mean, not super spectacular. I mean, so, if the Giants, don't beat themselves, meaning, Daniel Jones gets sacked, fumbles the ball, they pick it up running in for a touchdown, or he throws a pick 6, or they block a punt, run it back for they run a kickoff back for a touchdown or something like that. I mean, the Giants got a shot here. All right. Now, the Giants got to watch out. The Saints' defense is very good. First 3 weeks, they've been very good. Okay. They're number 3, okay, in rushing for the defense. They've had balls been run 65 times. They've only given up 181 yards. They've given up 2.8 yards per carry, all right, which is second in the NFL, 2.8 yards per carry. Okay, they're tied for number 1 with 6 interceptions. Okay, so the Giants got to be careful there. Giants only have 1 interception. Giants upgraded their cornerbacks and this and safeties and all that stuff and everything, and after 3 games they have 1 interception. All right, the Giants, I said, are on pace for like 5 or 6 interceptions for the whole season. That's absolutely unbelievably pathetic. Okay, They're number 6. Saints defense is number 6 in the league, okay, with allowing only 61.3% completion, okay. Today's market, that's pretty good, and they're number 6. The Giants are 31st in the league, giving up 75.4% completion percentage. Oh my God, it's so horrible. They're the Saints defense is number 3 quarterback rating against them. Right? They're 67.1 the quarterback rating. Okay, the Giants are number 25. We make the other team's quarterbacks look like Hall of Famers. The other team's quarterback rating against the Giants are 108.1. Okay, so so the Giants can't beat themselves. All right, it's okay to punt the ball. All right, they can't turn it over. Their defense has to, has to come up with stops. We just can't when it's like 2 minutes to go in the first half, like it has in the first 3 games. The Saints get the ball, can't have them just walk down the field and score a touchdown, or at the end of the game, if we're up or we're tied or something like that, and the Saints get the ball, we just can't let them walk down the field and score a touchdown. All right, Giants defense got to step up here. Okay. Now we got we're planning on getting Kadarius Toney in there. All right, hopefully getting him some more plays. Evan Ingram, he won't be getting booed by his own fans this week. Okay, so that's important. Hopefully Kenny Galladay's healthy enough. All right, but then apparently John Ross will be on the field too. Now it's going to be hard to see what kind of shape he's in and all that. Kind of interesting to see how many plays he's on the field for, how many times they throw the ball his way, all that stuff. And the one thing I hate is when you got a guy that comes in like off the bench, okay, and you only put him in for like 10, 12 plays or something like that, and like almost half the time the ball goes his way. It's like, oh, well, here comes John Ross up. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about Saquon or Evan Ingram or Kenny Galladay. John Ross is coming in off the bench. The ball's going to get thrown his way. I hate when that happens. Absolutely hate when that happens. But with John Ross's speed, and I said with Kadarius Toney, hopefully we have, Kenny Galladay, hopefully he stays healthy, regardless of Evan Ingram, if he drops passes or fumbles the ball, or he's still a mismatch, right? And hopefully we get Saquon in there, all right? The Giants can't beat themselves. Now, this is going to be a huge game for the Saints, okay? Because this will be their first game, their home game, okay, from Hurricane Ida, okay. She shut down the Superdome, okay. So the first 3 games, the first one, the Saints were on with their home team, but they had to play in Jacksonville. All right. Then the next 2 games they were away. So this is the 4th game of the season. So actually, this is the first home game the Saints are going to have with fans in there going freaking ballistic since 2019. Okay, so it's going to be a huge game. All right, Giants got to be prepared for the noise. As I said, if the Saints start getting up and the Giants start playing ugly, it could be like sharks feeding in the water. It just could be really sad by the end of the game. Now, this is something close to like the way it was back in 2005 with Hurricane Katrina came rolling through and ripped the Superdome apart. And basically 2005, the New Orleans Saints, the whole year they were on the road the whole year. They didn't have a home because they couldn't play in the Superdome, okay? So they finally came back home in 2006. All right, so they were away, and in 2006, the first game that they played at home, okay, was against the Atlanta Falcons, all right, on September 25th, 2006. The Saints won. It was on Sunday Night Football, I believe it was, and the Saints won 23-3. Now, the 4th play of the game, okay, because the Falcons won 1-2-3, and they had a punt. So on the 4th play of the game, okay, the Saints safety, Steve Gleason, okay, blocked a Michael Cronin punt, okay, and it was scooped up and recovered in the end zone, okay, by Curtis DeLoach for a touchdown. Curtis DeLoach just happened to be a former Giant, and we let him go. But the 4th play of the game, they blocked the punt. Curtis DeLoach fell on it in the end zone for a touchdown. The place was going frickin' bananas. And it was such a monumental play and all that outside the Superdome. They have a statue of that. They have a statue, okay, of Steve Gleason blocking the punt. And so, I mean, the place went absolutely bananas. And the Saints that year, they wound up going to the championship game. They lost to the Bears in the championship game, but I mean, that was huge. That was huge, and it's going to be somewhat kind of the same thing. I mean, when they're coming back from Hurricane Ida. All right, so the Giants got to be very, very careful. Now, the Giants are technically they played 13 times, okay, in New Orleans. Okay, one of them was in 2005, where they wind up playing the New Orleans Saints home game against the Giants, wind up be playing in Giant Stadium, and the Giants wind up beating them. Okay, so, but you know they actually, you know, there were 13 games that the Giants played, you know, against New Orleans, where New Orleans was the home team. Okay, now the Giants, if you take that one away, the Giants are technically, you know, games that actually got played in New Orleans. The Giants are 3-9 all time. The first time the Giants played in New Orleans, okay, was in Tulane Stadium. Okay, it was in 1970. The Saints won that one 14-10. The last time the Giants played in New Orleans was 2015. Okay, that's when Drew Brees had 7 touchdown passes. Eli Manning had 6. It was 13 touchdowns, an NFL record, 13 touchdown passes. The Saints won 52-49. Okay, so that's 1970 was the first game. The last time we played was in New Orleans was 2015. So 45 years there. 45 years, the Giants have won 3 times in New Orleans, okay? And all 3 of those times, okay, we had some guy by the name of, I think it was Lawrence Taylor, I think, on the field. And that's how we wound up winning the game. In 1985, the Giants went to New Orleans and we won 21-13. This Lawrence Taylor, the great one, had 1 sack in that game. 1988, okay, the Giants won 13-12. It was a Sunday night game, I believe it was. Lawrence Taylor not only had 3 sacks, he forced 2 fumbles and batted down a pass too, okay? It was also called the Pain Game. If you type in 1988 Giants versus Saints Pain Game or something, the highlights of that one will pop up. The Saints player Jim Dombrowski was kind of fell on Lawrence Taylor and kind of wound up ripping, he tore part of his deltoid muscle, okay, and Lawrence Taylor got strapped up and on. You can even see it in the highlights. You know, he got strapped up. He had, basically his one arm couldn't really go too far away from his body, okay, because he tore the one muscle. All right, but he had 7 tackles in that game in 1988. He had 3 sacks, forced 2 fumbles, batted down a pass. He caused a couple penalties on the New Orleans Saints offensive line as well. And then 1993, the last time, 1993, the Giants have not won in New Orleans since 1993. Almost 30 years since we've won in New Orleans. 1993, we won 24-14. Of course, Lawrence Taylor had 1 sack. Okay, so in 45 years, we've had 3 wins in New Orleans. We do not play well in New Orleans. A lot of teams don't. You know, it's understandable. But if the Giants play with a sense of urgency, you know, I know the New Orleans is played on the road, you know, and it's different playing at home, get all juiced up and everything, and they're going to wind up playing probably better than they did when they were on the road. I get that. But even still, the Giants' defense, if they man up, put on their big boy pants, take no BS, all right, play a damn freaking game of football, all right, punch the Saints in the mouth for 60 minutes, the Giants have a shot at this one, okay? And then on defense, and then on offense, if the Giants don't turn the ball over, which Daniel Jones is doing a very good job of protecting the ball so far this year, okay? If the offensive line, it ain't going to be easy, but if the offensive line doesn't jump off sides due to the noise, if the offensive line doesn't have where there's 6 or 7 or 8 sacks on Daniel Jones, if maybe we can get Saquon loose a couple times, you know, things are possible. We can certainly go deep. Okay, we got that. We got Kadarius Toney and Evan Ingram is short. You know, we got a shot. I'm certainly not saying we're going to win. I mean, the way things are going, I'm sure the Giants will be looking for a way to blow this game. But all in all, when you look at it, the Saints are 2-1. They're not that dominating, okay? And the Giants at 0-3 are not that bad either, okay? So this game could be a lot closer than most people think. And the Giants got a small shot at actually pulling this one out and keeping their season hopes alive. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!